Okay, very good. A very good morning to all of you. Okay, so I think enough students have joined us so that we can begin the webinar. So basically, this webinar is sort of like the start of our new crash course for 2021 Indian Forest Services examination mains, which is being held in 2022. Uh, and this is a crash course which has been specifically designed. Okay, so for for the UPSC course, let me also you can see the slides. Okay, so overall, this course that we have planned is because the time period is so short. Okay, so it has to be a very efficient course, and the way we will be approaching this is through a combination, a blend of pre-recorded lectures and live lectures. Okay, the good thing is most of the difficult stuff that is there, most of the difficult subjects, such as many students find difficulty in paper 1 section B, paper 2 section A, so subjects such as structural geology, mineralogy, crystallography, igneous petrology, metamorphic petrology, sedimentology. These are the ones which we will cover through live classes. Again, we have to be very strategic in those live classes as well, because if you want to study, you can study just one subject for 1 month also. That is also there. Okay. Mayank sir will tell you more about that strategy which you need to adopt and share some examples also with students who have started the preparation only during this phase, that is like within one month before the exam, and they have got like very good ranks in within this period. Okay. The faculty that will be teaching you, so it will be myself and Mayank sir. So we just concluded our last month detailed course also for UPSC Civil Services and Indian Forest Services, which was like detailed course. It ran for 4 months, more than 4 months. We gave off for prelims preparation as well. But if you check, for example, you can check the curriculum of that course, and also this year's paper, which civil services paper which was asked, 95% of the questions they were directly covered, so the content was directly covered in the class. Okay. uh, okay, so this one Mayank sir will come will go into this detail more, but the message here is that if is it possible to do it in 40 days? Yes, it is. You have to be very strategic, and you must know that a lot of candidates who will actually be appearing, who are appearing along with you, are in the same boat as you. They will also be preparing in this time frame only, many of them. Yes, Mayank sir, you want to add something?
Yes. So, Lansa, can I present myself?
Okay, so I will come to that. I just want to share this schedule that we will be following. Okay. First of all, I will give you just brief, and then in the end we can discuss it again. Okay. So this is the schedule, January and February schedule that we have, and our plan is to basically give you all the content by 18th of February. Okay. So all the classes that you see, so we will share these slides with you. You can go through this in more detail. Okay. So on the weekends, that is when we will have slightly longer classes. All these classes, mineralogy, crystallography, structural geology, igneous petrology, sedimentology, metamorphic petrology, all these will be covered in live classes. So everything that you see in purple is what will be covered in live classes. And subjects which are in blue, so that is day for pre-read, because if we are going to cover uh, some content, let's say mineralogy, crystallography, within 2 days. So it is better if you come prepared for the lecture, and you can ask questions if you have any questions, if you want to discuss any part of it. This is in these pre-reads, we will release some basic slides and ask you to just go through, for example, scan through Bangar or some basic guidebook. Okay, so that is what you can do through this part. Uh, some courses, for example, general geology. Okay, although we have detailed lectures for this, but we know that a lot of students, if you are at this stage, you have definitely studied general studies very well. So you would have studied plate tectonics theory, isostasy, and all those. You would have studied basic geography as well. So best way will be we will provide you concise notes for these, basically based on exact UPSC syllabus. All the content will be like in form of how you can get those questions in the exam. So general geology we will release in that format. We will have a basic other than remote sensing, and then basically we have all these subjects that you see in black are what will be released as pre-recorded lectures. Now we have designed this very specifically based on, for example, if there is any prerequisite to study any further subject that you are going to study. So, for example, geochemistry, after mineralogy, geochemistry can be very easily covered. Remote sensing is almost standalone. This you have to prepare for your, if you have forestry optional, for that also you have to prepare it. So, you start it at the start. So we'll discuss this in a little bit more detail, and with questions and answers. You can go through this schedule in your own time, as well as we will share the slides after this. Okay. All right. So Mayank sir, if you want to take control from here, so I will stop sharing, and then you can yeah, take the
Okay.
lecture
We'll
from
come
here.
back to the we'll come back to the schedule again. Where it is an important thing. Just some brief idea about geology strategy, right? So I hope my voice is audible, right? Fine. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, firstly, again, a very good warm welcome to you all, and like to all those who are writing, this forest services means like a big congratulations to you all, right? So, like, the good thing about is that you have beaten most of your competitor in prelims itself, right? Now you have just around 1,000 odd candidates, right? Most of them are starting from today or day after tomorrow, right? Something like that, from a couple of days. So you just have a competition among 1,000 odd people writing mains, and most of them are very new to both of the optional, right? So in that context, it is actually a very a golden opportunity, right? It is a golden opportunity to land a rank in a prestigious All India service, right? So first thing is, like, you should understand, you should realize this thing, that it is a very important and a golden opportunity, and you should like work really hard for next 40 odd days, right? So, like, I think Lawrence sir wrote 28th Feb as the date of the exam. Like, is it the right date, or is it 27, or maybe the 1st of March? Can anybody help? I think the first is on 28th. Maybe you will have English as well as GK, right? And then you will have a break of couple of days, right? Maybe then you will have, maybe on 3rd of March, geology, and 4th or 5th of March you will have forestry. Something like that is the routine, right? So okay, so you have around good 40 days to prepare, right? So uh, firstly, we have been consulting a lot of students, right? Especially those who are writing IFS in 40 days, and a lot of people are in doubt, right, whether this is possible or not, right? Whether uh, whether getting a rank, right, not just appearing in exam, but whether getting a rank is possible or not in 40 days, right? So just like I said, statistically, in a country like India, when there is competition in, like, there is competition in each and every exam which we write, right? Like, even in prelims, more than 3-4 lakh student wrote, right? And even in civil services means, I think more than 12,000 people wrote the exam, right? Everybody was very well prepared there, and there are also a lot of other determinants, like there is essay, there is ethics, right? And then there is four very comprehensive paper of gender studies, there is optional, sometimes there is even compulsory papers, right? And like, it is a very intensive thing, right? But IFS is also a very intensive examination, but this is one of the most important thing, right? In IFS means, like, your competition is actually cut short in terms of like numerically. That is the first thing, right? And the second thing is, like, you should remember, first thing I see, the most important mantra to clear IFS means, right? IFS means is, you should not give up, right? You should keep working till you enter the examination hall for your mains examination, right? So even like if you plan, and have this timeline, like you prepared for CSE. Now, if you have CSE in January, you must have written, you must have completed your syllabus by November end, right? You must be writing mock in December. So you had, full 30-40 days of buffer and all these things. Some of you might have even completed your optional before prelims, right? So that is what happened in civil services. but those timeline don't apply here in IFS, right? In IFS, your syllabus will get completed somewhere around 20th Feb. Even if it gets completed around 25th Feb, plus you have been revising in this last 40 days, you have been ratifying, you have been memorizing your optional, you stand a very, very realistic chance, right? That is the thing. And another thing is, these 40 days, like there is a saying that we can expand our work to fit in time, or we can somehow compress our work to fit in the limited time we have, right? So in 40 days time, since like especially all those people who have written civil services means, like couple of days ago, you have given a very intensive and a very very difficult exam, right? So you have your own strategy, you have your own momentum. So if you use all that momentum, all the wisdom you gathered in your civil services main preparation vis-a-vis answer writing, right? You also know that क्या करते हैं उससे पेपर कंप्लीट नहीं होता. You also know now कि paper completion is so important, what timeline you should adhere, right? So all those things you have. So if you use all your momentum of civil services means, and all your wisdom you have acquired in maybe in last couple of years, since whenever you are appearing in civil services, so this is basically pinnacle. So you can make these 40 days work as effective as 100 days, or I can say even a 4 month of work, right? If you use all that wisdom, momentum, and that enthusiasm for next 40 days, right? So like this is the keyword. These days, these 40 days has to be very, very intense phase of preparation, right? Because like I think most of you have must have a combination of geology plus forestry, right? Like I know few of our students, they have civil engineering plus geology. Somebody has somebody has agriculture and geology. It's all right, right? But this is the most common, right? Most common combination. So nobody in India read forestry, right? There is no optional like forestry in civil services. So just see that nobody has read forestry before. Everybody will start from scratch from tomorrow or from today, 19th of January, right? Geology also, I can say 99% of your competitor will be from non-geology background, and they have not studied geology in their graduation. Neither most of them have not studied even in their civil services mains, right? So like most of the people would have be having optional like geography in civil services, sociology, right? We have somebody even from law, from philosophy, right? So like somebody, there are a couple of students who wrote from Malayalam literature, right? Somebody last year she wrote from Sanskrit literature, like from Sanskrit, I think, the civil services, some other language, and she also got a rank, right? Another 2022 rank in forest services. So it is pretty much possible. It is pretty much possible. And another thing, just to have you to know what people achieve in these 40 days, like this is an example. He's also a friend, and he's presently a serving IFS officer in Telangana cadre, right? I hope I'm like okay, right, sorry. So like I hope this slide is visible to all, right? कोई कुछ बोल नहीं रहा अभी तक, दिख रहा है ना?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like this is a friend. He is a serving IFS officer in Telangana cadre, home state. So I can share his story because he was also a member of the interview panel in which I appeared, right, in this year forest services, right? So this guy Naveen Reddy, he actually gave civil services 5 times, right? And he was giving only civil services with geography optional. Right. So I think he also gave interview in civils, and unfortunately he could not make into the final list. Like, so I think it was his fifth attempt. After fifth attempt, after civil services mains, he realized that like he thought that maybe he has messed up his mains or whatever vibes he got. Right. So then he had around 45 days of preparation, and then he started geology and forestry. Right, both in this 45 days. And why he studied so intensely, like I knew his schedule also. He was also a flatmate, so he like used to wake up very early. He used to devote 5 to 6 hours daily to geology, and then again 2 hours of rectification, and then he used to devote 3 to 4 hours of forestry, and then again 1 hour of rectification. This was his routine throughout for 40 days, right? And he was a engineer. I think he graduated in electronics engineering, right? So he had no background in neither geology nor forestry. And see his marks, right? Like see his marks. What he achieved? He achieved, I think, how much is the total? 290 something, right? 291. In geology, this is I think how much? 2314. and this is from 400, right? This is from 400. So how much it is? How much it is? It is, I think, more than 75% marks, right? It is tending to 80% marks. So इतने नंबर तो बोर्ड एग्जाम में भी नहीं आते हैं, and he has scored this in a competitive examination, right? So what I want to say is everything is possible, right? It is very much possible, and actually you like, it is a matter of fact that every one of you who is writing, who has cleared the prelims, right? You stand a realistic chance of getting landing a rank within, next 60 days in a all India service, right? So this, see what he has achieved. Similarly, this was the year he was all India rank 1 actually, right? He got all India rank 1 in 40 days, right? Then all India rank 2 this year. This was, I think, 2018. This year also the marking in geology was bit liberal, right? So bit liberal. We'll discuss how somebody could score this much marks, right? Nobody will, like, even he knows that nobody has this knowledge कि वो 200 340 number लाएगा 400 में से, right? Just based on knowledge. So there are some other factors at play that we will discuss later. But that year AIR 2, she was also our college friend, Arushi Mishra. She also got some rank 2, and her optional in civil services was sociology, right? Her optional was sociology in civil services, and then she prepared for 45 days, and she got rank 2 in forest services, right? With the geology optional, right? Then this year only, 2020. She also, I think, got ranked 15 or 14. Like, I'm sorry, I don't remember exact rate, but she was under 20 rank, right? And she also gave from geography optional, or I think philosophy optional, and she also secured a rank in IFS by preparing for those 2 months, right? I think this time is less. पिछले 2 साल से UPSC was giving you around 55 days, right? But this time, because of this COVID and the extension of examination, the time period has been cut short to around 40, right? 42 odd days. So that is a challenge which everybody will have to conquer. So, like, this, she is also an example. He's an example. He's an amazing example, right? I think, if Lawrence remember, I think he write civil services with political science, right? Or maybe philosophy, like one of these two optional. And he also he prepared for civil services pretty diligently, and he appeared in interview, right? He appeared in interview last year itself in 2020 civil services, right?
Also
And he was among the top scorer in civil services, right? So
reserve list as well.
Yeah, he is also in reserve list. Actually, he initially missed the rank, but he is in reserve list now, right? So he was pretty dedicated. If somebody is getting into reserve list, right, then obviously the level of preparation, the level of commitment he showed before the mains. And after that, he came to us. Like, he was a student of Lawrence sir, and he came to us, and he also enrolled in a crash course last year. And he was a classroom student, and he got a rank of 7, right? He scored pretty high in both forestry, geology, and he was also one of the top scorer in interview, right? So this is Gurhas for you. He was our. So you have a lot of, by this example, I want to tell that you have a lot of inspiring, right? Inspiring example, and it is not about only inspirational or all these things. Few of the people are doing. I think most of the people who are preparing for forest services means diligently for 40-45 days, in an intelligent manner without giving up. They generally land up getting a rank, right? So this is a reality, and every one of you who is writing civil forest services means stand a realistic chance of getting a rank, right? So, like, this is about this aspect which I think everybody naturally was a bit worried about, right? So this is a thing. So you hope understand it is possible, and you have to have a very intense phase of preparation, right? So this is it. Now, first thing is about, like, to start off, how to start off, right? तो स्टार्ट ऑफ करने के लिए भाई you have taken a couple of days break. You can take even एक दिन का और break आप ले सकते हो if you are very much exhausted our civil services means, but then you should start your preparation by tomorrow, right? Tomorrow से थोड़ा थोड़ा आपको पढ़ना शुरू कर देना चाहिए, right? So in the end we will also discuss थोड़ा बहुत forestry का क्या कर सकते हैं, but अभी we will start with geology, and this is actually an introductory course for geology crash course only, right? So see, now you all are very matured people. You have written civils mains also, so you know that the key to success is to sticking to, at least in its optional, is to sticking to the syllabus, right? Whatever UPSC has given in forest services, as well as sticking to previous year questions, right? So we in crash course will share compilation of previous year questions of IFS as well as civil services with you all, right? So we have compiled last 15 years of paper till 2016, and from 2017 onwards, right, we will provide direct question paper itself, right? So you can actually direct practice answer writing at the end, right? Somewhere around Feb 20th, you can, just attempt this paper, how much you are able to write, right? And then you should deliberate that how these people have managed to score so much high, right, despite such difficult or such easy paper, right? All these things. So till 2016 we have a topic wise compilation, right? There are 12 units in our geology syllabus. If you have seen the syllabus, right, I'll also show you the syllabus. So there are 12 topics in our syllabus. So we will give you this previous year questions also. So those previous year questions and the syllabus, they will give us the boundary, right? Boundary हमको क्या prepare करना है, right? We don't want to be a professional geologist, right? We want to be an all India service officer, IFS officer. उसके लिए बस एग्जाम में स्कोर अच्छा करना है. So these will be our boundaries, syllabus as well as previous year questions. Simple. अब syllabus में भी we will, since we have 40 days, there are few questions, there are few themes which are very often repeated, right? Like themes like in paper 1 में, like topics like landslides. You can even write these topics in your copy. इसको बाद में ध्यान रखना. Landslide है, meteorite. There is a topic in geology, we call it meteorites, right? You all know what is meteorite, but we study it from geological perspective here, right? Then there is silicate structures. This is from crystallography, silicate structures. We will also enlist. Then there are some fold classification. Lawrence sir will cover all these very beautifully with you all in the class. Then there are fold classification, right? And then there are few questions from engineering geology in geological investigations, right? So like whenever you write civil services examination, there is always a 50% chance of these questions always coming. They just cut copy paste by UPSC, right? So if they have not come in civil services means, they will come in forest services means for sure, right? They will come every alternate year. Even the silicate structure, I think they ask it every year. They don't miss it, right? So that is the thing. And another thing is like, this is a common knowledge that around 80 to 85% questions in your paper, they will be repeated. They will be from previous year questions only, right? So but ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि somebody I had a message in the morning कि somebody said that just give us previous year question solution and we will हमारा हो जाएगा, because सब कुछ तो repeat होता है. So like this does not work, right? Geology is actually a scientific subject. Geology is science, right? तो प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन करने के लिए आप रट के जाओगे एग्जाम में नहीं लिख पाओगे ना थोड़ा. तो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द कंसेप्ट. थोड़ा सा चैप्टर तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा, राइट? इफ डायरेक्टली यू जंप ऑन सिलिकेट स्ट्रक्चर, then you won't make much sense of it, right? कितना भी आप रट लो. So at least read some mineralogy, crystallography, have an overview of that, and then come to important topics जिनके आप notes बना सकते हो, जिनको आप practice करो, draw diagrams, Google images, all these things, right? So that should be the strategy. So like firstly I will tell you, like firstly we'll go through, if you want we can go through the syllabus, right? So I'll share the syllabus. So this is proper syllabus, and this, like when I started preparing for geology optional, right? Especially I gave geology first time with forest only, right? So ऐसे I was sitting after my civil services means, and मैंने ऐसा कुछ rough copy में बैठ के I just note down the syllabus क्या है, right? So that I am sharing with you कि वो आपको करना ना पड़े. So मैंने बस जो यूपीएससी ने सिलेबस दिया हुआ था, whatever the syllabus UPSC has given, I just counted the subtopics, right? There is a unit called as general geology. So I just counted how much topics are written there. So there are just 10 very small topics written, right? As a geomorphology, remote sensing में there were 7 in geomorphology, 8 subtopic in remote sensing, right? Structural में there are 11 topics, छोटे छोटे उन्होंने टॉपिक दे रखे हैं which you have to cover, right? So ऐसे when I counted, ये पूरा का पूरा around 140 topics, subtopics in entire UPSC syllabus, right? So if there are 105 subtopics, अगर at an average you are covering 5 subtopics also, आप 30 days के अंदर पूरा का पूरा cover कर सकते हो, right? That is logical, right? If you are doing it intensely, so that is one of the way, right? So just I did it. So मैंने इसको ऐसे हाथ से लिखा था ताकि याद हो जाए. अब जैसे कि this is general geology, right? अब general geology है. Now I like this don't look good, so I have made this also for you, right? So general geology, right? This is our first unit. First of the 12 unit, right? So इसमें this is very general ना. इसमें a lot of thing you all must have studied in your general studies itself, right? So, general studies में people who have geography optional, उनके लिए this might be even more easy, right? उन्होंने शायद directly पढ़ रखा हो, but I think everybody must have read, right? So I hope you must have read something about volcanoes, causes of volcano, volcanic belt, right? uh, earthquake causes, effects, like seismic zones in India. ये तो यूपीएससी ने 2 साल पहले पूछा भी था जीएस में, right? To draw that seismic graph. Then island arc, trenches, these are all GC long stuff, right? So these are all GC long stuff. Orogeny is mountain building. You know what is fold mountains. This is basically plate tectonics, right? Here it is plate tectonics. So seafloor spreading. You all know either Stacy, continents, ocean. You might have not heard some topics जैसे कि आपको exactly नहीं पता होगा कि how to determine the age of Earth, right? Interior, origin of Earth, all you have read, right? So this chapter, right? So like we have comprehensive course also. We have a comprehensive course also with us. वहाँ पे we do it very scratch, because there are people who are still in universities and right, they are starting from scratch. So we take this topic वहाँ पे in for 15 hours, right? We have very extensive coverage of this. But I don't think for general geology, to all you smart people, you don't need 15 hours of general geology. So like Lawrence sir was saying, today we will release general geology, and for general geology, no, Lawrence sir has worked very hard for it, and he has prepared very good quality of handwritten notes, right? Very good quality of handwritten notes. So what you can do is, like, you can just read you can read his handwritten notes. From it you can just rectify, because यहाँ पे आपको, you know what is volcano, causes of volcano, you know product of volcano also, you know volcanic belts, this ring of fire, all these things you know. But you still you cannot leave it, right? If you leave some topic, then you will be missing on the rank. So उसको complete करने के लिए sir has made handwritten notes, and just certify it. आपको सब पता है, you just have to reciprocate that in the exam.
Yes,
So
I would like to add here. And yeah,
yes,
sometimes what students do is they think that easiest topics they will cover at the end, and they start with most difficult topics. And end में क्या होता है? Because difficult topics sometimes take more time, so they are not able to cover even easy topics. So, for example, in exam you will have choice. Okay, out of total 8 questions, you have to attempt only 5, so you can leave 3 over there. So जो easy subject हैं, because you have like very little time, you should be very comfortable in them. Okay, so कि उसमें से तो कोई अगर question आता है, you have to attempt that question no matter what. So please go through this. You just study entire this general geology, because I know you can do it. It's as Mayank sir was saying, huge overlap with GS preparation as well. So
all right.
just cover this very nicely in the start only.
Yes.
And it will help you in others also, because you need some basics of, for example, plate tectonics and all, for maybe when we are studying igneous petrology and structural geology.
All right. Yes. All right. Okay. And thank you, Rahul and Ramana. Actually, the date of Forest Service exam is 27th of Feb, not 28th,
Okay.
right? So, like, have that in mind. Okay.
Yeah.
And I hope, Lawrence sir, you are recording it.
Yes.
You are not audible, sir.
Yes, I'm recording it.
All right. So okay, so like Lawrence sir says that, like, also there is a lot of student call us and they say that कि sir हमको geology में general geology हो गया ना, second unit is geomorphology, right? So they said कि sir general geology geomorphology तो हम कर लेंगे, then there are other topic, हमको आप सिर्फ crystallography पढ़ा दो और mineralogy पढ़ा दो, igneous पढ़ा दो, right? ये तो हम पढ़ाएंगे, we will take it in live lecture and we will cover it very beautifully, right? But इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप सिर्फ टफ टॉपिक करते रहो, राइट? इफ यू स्टार्ट विद क्रिस्टलोग्राफी, यू विल स्टक अप इन क्रिस्टलोग्राफी फॉर 4 to 5 days, राइट? इट्स बेटर है कि आप इजी टॉपिक से शुरू करो, यू स्टार्ट विद इजी टॉपिक्स, दैट इज व्हाई वी हैव मेड द शेड्यूल. सो इट विल आल्सो गिव यू सम मोमेंटम, राइट? इट विल आल्सो गिव यू साइकोलॉजिकल बेनिफिट कि हाँ मैंने 5 यूनिट खत्म कर ली 12 में से, राइट? अगर ठीक है इसी टाइम में यू विल कवर ओनली 1 बिग यूनिट ऑफ 12, इसलिए इसको बाद में करेंगे एंड देन यू कैन डिक्रीज योर टाइम, बिकॉज यू विल विन मोमेंटम. आपको थोड़ा जियोलॉजी, what is geology, what actually, ना ये सब चीजें समझ में आने लगेगा. So now the second unit is geomorphology. Again, like this is very GS like, but we will give very good notes of it. We will also give video lecture of each and every topic which is there in the syllabus, right? So this is then the third topic is remote sensing, right? So it is very important, although it is part of section 1, paper 1, section 1 का second unit का ही है, right? Geomorphology and remote sensing are written together. But this remote sensing is also a chapter in your forestry, right? So like in forestry, remote sensing has a different use. Like you all must have heard about ISFR, right? Indian State of Forest Report. So they give the data of what is the forest forest area in the country. So they use all these remote sensing images, right? Imagery, and they calculate the green area. So it has a different usage there. In geology also it has different usage. So these are very, there are just four topics. One is application, one is GIS and GPS, right? So all we will give very good quality notes and even videos, don't worry, right? So it will be there. Now this, from third unit, third is structural geology. So this is a bit technical thing and we'll cover it, right? Structural geology. So like maybe Lawrence sir can share ki what structural geology is about, right? When I'll share later. So again, right, isko abhi fourth is paleontology, right? So paleontology is also a very interesting subject, right? It is one of the like most interesting subject of uh, geology. Like if you are a fan of this Friends TV series, right? So there is a character name is Ross, right? He was a paleontologist, right? He used to talk about dinosaur. If you have been there, right? He used to talk about a lot of stuff from geology. So he was essentially a like paleontologist. So in paleontology, like today in Earth, what we have humans, we have tiger, elephant, we have a lot of species, right? So basically, geology is study of the history of Earth, right? It is about rocks basically. So this paleontology is about history of organisms on the earth, right? So like today we have humans and all these elephants and tiger and cockroaches. Few million year ago we have the mighty dinosaurs, right? Then few million year ago from there we have some other cockroach like species like trilobites, right? Then we have some other species. So basically in paleontology we study about these fossils only. We study about fossils, how they have evolved, how life has evolved, right? How do we preserve fossils? What are different kinds of fossil? What is the application of the study of this fossil apart from knowledge, right? Is this study has any connotation, right? So this study of some kind of fossil, we call them microfossil. They are used in petroleum exploration, right? So you all know how big a thing petroleum is, right? If you get hand on petroleum, you know there is some petroleum, then it can make your country rich. It is also related to energy security, all these things. So you all know the broad things because of your knowledge of civil services. Now you will be zooming into it, right? So just have that understanding and fit in the context, this knowledge in that context, right? Then there are some specific thing. There is evolutionary trend of three vertebrates. This is hominidae, that is man, right? Equidae is horse, and this is proboscis, the scientific name of elephant, right? So हाथी घोड़ा और इंसान सिर्फ इन तीन ही चीज की हमको इवोल्यूशनरी ट्रेंड करना है. तो एक साल में यूपीएससी विल आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन. दे विल जस्ट चेपो दिस पॉइंट की राइट एवोल्यूशनरी ट्रेंड ऑफ होमिनिडाई. नेक्स्ट ईयर दे विल आस्क इक्विडाई. अगले साल दे विल आस्क प्रोबोस्कोडाई, राइट? और अगर आप थोड़ा और डीप में जाओगे ना, यू विल सी अगर सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जामिनेशन मेंस में उन्होंने पूछा है इस बार, आई थिंक उन्होंने हॉर्स पूछा है, right? Equidae. So in our mains, in IFS mains, they will either ask man or elephant. आप देख लेना आएगा और ये सवाल, right? आता ही है. So like this is the thing. So this is a way. Then we have this Indian stratigraphy. It is also a very interesting thing. It is about how these rocks are deposited, right? It is essentially study of rocks, how they are deposited, what is the sequence, what was the environment back then, how this Himalayas were evolved, right? And a lot of things that we'll explore, right? Then again, this is a very easy topic, that is hydrogeology. So this is hydro is water, or specifically it is groundwater geology, right? So you study a lot of things about groundwater, right? Groundwater, I mean, you must have heard what there are something called aquifers. So it is about aquifer. There is a tendency in groundwater to flow, like just like river flows under the influence of gradient, groundwater also flows under the influence of gradient. So there is a law known as Darcy law. UPSC will ask this question every alternate year, right? So यहाँ पे कहीं दिया भी होगा. We'll cover all this in class. So this is the domain of geology, right? Then there is groundwater chemistry, some rainwater harvesting. This you also know already from your GS knowledge. थोड़ा types of well, right? All these are, you can see these are familiar. बहुत नई चीज नहीं है. Even if you are reading it for first time, आपने बचपन में कभी ना कभी सुन रखा होगा स्प्रिंग्स के बारे में, राइट? आपने यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड अबाउट ग्राउंड वाटर केमिस्ट्री. व्हाट आर द कंपोजिशन ऑफ ग्राउंड वाटर, राइट? So by GS knowledge, you know groundwater has salt, right? सबसे पहले it has H2 hydrogen and oxygen, it has salt, it has a lot of bases and acid, and it has a lot of cations, it has impurities, there might be some uranium problem. All these things we study here, right? Then exploration, how do we explore groundwater, right? So this is very interesting कि भाई पता कैसे चलेगा कि ग्राउंड वाटर है, कि कहाँ पे हम ड्रिल करें, वेयर डू वी, ऑल दिस थिंग वी स्टडी, राइट? वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग. And the last unit of paper 1 is engineering geology, right? Last topic. So here it is also very easy. There is this topic known as earthquake resistant structures, right? Like buildings, bridges. So how do we make these buildings and bridges so that they are resistant to earthquake, right? So this is a topic. ये इस बार सेम टू सेम चीज यूपीएससी ने सिविल सर्विसेज मेंस में पूछी है.
This year they asked a few questions from geology. Even Gondwana question was there.
Yes.
Landslides question was there.
Like if maybe we can even आपको बताने के लिए कि भाई it is not a big deal, especially paper 1, right? This is the paper जो your friends might have written 2 days ago, right? This is civil services means 2021 paper, I think. Yes, right. So हम इसको भी देख लेते हैं, ठीक है? तो how it is possible, right? अब पहला क्वेश्चन देखो. This is an optional, geology optional, and you must be from law background, you must be from geography or somewhere, but you all must be knowing what is ring of fire. किसको नहीं पता बताओ, what is ring of fire? And something like that, how many plates and geographic areas are associated with the ring of fire. तो basically ये बोल रहा है कि भैया please make world map and show the ring of fire और नाम लिख दो plates का, यही पूछ रहा है. Now every one of you can write this answer, right? And this is an optional का question. What is GIS, what is GPS? A function of GIS. This is directly taken from the syllabus. Sorry. And I think a lot of you might be already knowing what is GIS, what is GPS, right? Similarly, what are the advantages of aerial photography, right? So ये आपने कभी सुना नहीं होगा aerial photograph, all this thing. But if you make a intelligent guesswork like you all did in your prelims, right, you will know कि aerial photography is a photograph जो aeroplane से खींच रहे हैं, और we are taking it from satellite, right? Something like that. It is related to remote sensing. So it is also not difficult. आप पढ़ोगे, it will done. This is also a pretty simple question from structural geology. Lawrence will be covering. This is also a standard question. Stress and stress ellipsoid, right? So if you will even read structural geology for 4 hours, you will be able to answer this question, right? Very pretty simple.
Even you just, it's directly a topic which is mentioned in the syllabus. In the syllabus they said stress strain ellipsoid. If you read the syllabus, and the question is right or not on stress strain ellipsoid, so you don't have to go in deep. There is no subtopic within stress and strain ellipsoid. It is the direct topic in the UPSC syllabus. Okay, even if you go through, and usually it happens in geology, in a lot of see point number 3, stress strain ellipsoid. So there are not even subtopics in that you have to study. You have to just make a note. Direct question will be asked. Similarly, for example, 4th strain markers, that question can be asked in the exam directly.
Directly, हाँ. तो ये बस इनको आपको स्ट्रैटेजी भी यही करना है, ये उठाना है, और यू हैव टू राइट 2-3 पेजेस ऑफ गुड कंटेंट ऑन इट, ठीक है? तो कंटेंट कैसे बनाना है? ऑल यूज ऑल योर विजडम. डेफिनेशन होना चाहिए चीजों की, है ना? कंसेप्ट होना चाहिए, बिकॉज दिस इज अ साइंटिफिक सब्जेक्ट. वो भी प्रिंसिपल है. देयर हैज टू बी 3-4 छोटे डायग्राम, small diagram. That's it. And this is your notes. You will get 80 to 90% marks in such question. In civil services means, even if you write beautiful answers, you will get 6.5 out of 10, right? This will be the topper, year 1. In IFS, in geology optional, because there is so much variation in the how people are writing the answer. Now, even if you write an average answer, where in civil services you will get only 4.5 out of 10, in forest services you will get 6.5 out of 10. If you write a wonderful answer where you deserve 6.5, you might get 9.5, right? That is why somebody scored 314 marks out of 400 by 40 days of preparation. So there is a notion of relative marking, right? This is my understanding. Otherwise, I don't think this is possible. Like I have also scored. I have topped geology paper 2 twice in forest services, right? Once I scored like around 148, and another time I scored 144 out of 200, right? In geology paper 2, right? And this was the time when I gave by just 40 days of preparation. Not even 40, it was less than 40. That was 2017, 30 days of preparation, right? So I don't think I had any knowledge at that time. I had any knowledge. I had different options in civil services also. So I changed that year also only to geology. So I don't think I had any knowledge close to this mark, right? 144. but I could score 144 marks in paper 2 because I dumped a lot of technical content, right? If they are asking me about x, y, z, and I just know x, y, then I was writing x, y, and z dash, z double dash, z triple dash, right? Whatever I know about z, I was writing. I was not writing z, but I was writing things related to it. So I dumped a lot of technical content. So all these things we will discuss in class, right? We will also have short, frequent this doubt session and strategy classes. There we will see how we can maximize our marks based on experience, right? So like coming again back to this. So again, this is again a question: what are lithospheric plates? I think everybody can write this from gender studies point of view, right? So don't
And
have
they
that
ask
notion.
like it every year, both in civil services and in forest. It is like the
Yes.
most repeated question of any question.
Yes, and this is IS mains, right? So like another thing is, ऐसा मत सोचना है कि भाई मुझे तो जनरल स्टडीज का पता है, right? What I will write, भाई जियोलॉजी सेम, right? So lithospheric definition सेम ही है, right? The theory of what discuss the theory of plate tectonics is same world over, right? ऐसा नहीं होगा कि you will write different answer in general studies और जियोलॉजी में कुछ चमत्कार होने लगेगा, right? प्लेट घूमने लगेंगे पेपर में, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा. You will write that same क्वेश्चन आंसर और कंटेंट ओनली, राइट? तो ये है, दिस इज वेरी डुएबल. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि पेपर 2 पढ़े, पेपर 1 पढ़ेंगे ही नहीं. यू हैव टू वर्क मोर हार्डर इन पेपर 1 बिकॉज इन पेपर 1 almost everyone will score about 100 marks out of 200, right? So here you should target 130, 140, and you can increase these 40 marks by drawing diagrams and by completing the paper itself, right? A lot of people leave paper 1, I don't know why. Paper 2 किसी का नहीं छूटता क्योंकि आता नहीं है. Paper 1 सबको आता है, छूट जाता है. तो ये दो चीज नहीं करोगे तो you will score very very decent. अब similarly, what are geomorphic processes? Very simple. You all know endogenetic, exogenetic, and it is basically talking about landforms, right? Right, landforms of fluvial processes, right? So basically this is asking that GC Leong or NCRT का context कि tell us about erosional and depositional landforms. Basically यही पूछ रहे हैं वो, right? River delta बनाता है, like river form, waterfalls, alluvial veins, delta, bars, meanders, all these things you have heard, read even in GS में पढ़ा है. But we will give very good quality content, है ना, diagram based, वो इससे cover हो जाएगा. Then again, this is structural geology, very basic. Attitude of bad mean, this is class 1 of structural geology, right? That is the thing. Similarly, again, this is if somebody is from geology optional, and if he or she reads this question, आपको I think William Thornbury की याद आएगी, right? This is one of the important principle of Thornbury. So explain the little concept of little of the earth topography is older than tertiary and most of it is no older than Pleistocene. Everything is covered in our class, and like with full on notes. And I think this is part of not if not gender studies but definitely geography. So gender studies वाले बच्चों को भी help इतना नहीं होगा. What is isostasy, right? What is fold domain? Very simple. What is hanging wall football of a fault, right? You all must have heard about fold, fault, right? Hanging wall, footfall, reverse thrust fault, right? Normal fault, right? All these things you must have heard. You must have read even थोड़ा सा इससे ज्यादा पढ़ रखा होगा कि ग्रेबन एंड होस्ट टाइप ना, रिवर नर्मदा, अरावलीज, विंध्या के कंटेक्स्ट में ग्रेबन एंड हॉट, ऑल दिस थिंग पढ़ा होगा. नहीं भी पढ़ा हो, नॉट अ बिग डील. इट इज गिवन इन इवन एनसीईआरटीज, right? Then this is atmospheric window, one of the most popular, most often repeated question.
And if you look
This
at
question,
some of the previous years, last year we conducted a lot of interviews in the preparation. If you go through those interviews, you'll see like Mayank sir every time is asking on these atmospheric windows only because this is such a standard question from remote sensing. Yeah.
right, exactly. So like this is a cliched question, right? Cliched question. So that is this spectral reflectance. If I have to suggest somebody कि भाई रिमोट सेंसिंग नहीं पढ़ी है जिंदगी में, रीड 2 टॉपिक्स, दीज विल बी द 2 टॉपिक्स, और वही यूपीएससी पूछ रहा है, राइट? So like this is then what is drainage pattern? Again, this is general studies, NCRT stuff, right? Now drainage anomaly is a is a tricky thing. ना ये नहीं मिलेगा, but we cover it in our class somehow, right? So and a lot of things are there. Now this is part 2 of paper 1, right? So इसमें this will be a little bit technical, GS knowledge से होगा नहीं, but still everything is very simple. What are mega fossil? आपने देखा होगा mega fossil was directly written in syllabus, right? Directly written in syllabus. So UPSC is asking syllabus only. Like it is not like like geography, law, or a lot of other subject, वहां पे काफी ज्यादा एप्लीकेशन पूछने लगी है in civil services. See, mega fossil is a topic and they are asking what are mega fossil, what are mega fossil, right? No, कोई छल कपट नहीं है यहाँ पे, right? सीधा सीधा है, पढ़ के आ जाओ, नंबर मिलेगा, ठीक है? तो ओके, अगेन गोइंग, उसके बाद दिस इज पेलियो, व्हाट इज पेलियो ज्योग्राफी, राइट? नाम से समझ में आएगा, इफ यू नो थोड़ा सा, इफ यू नो सम थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश, पेलियो मींस एंशिएंट, ज्योग्राफी मींस ज्योग्राफी, so it is about something related to paleontology or stratigraphy or कुछ कुछ है वो होगा, it will get covered. Define latest stratigraphy and some diagnostic properties, all these things very small. What are characteristic of some kind of aquifer, right? You know aquifers, all those rocks which have some water, groundwater in them, they are aquifers. So there must be some types of aquifer, A, B, C, D. So they are asking A, B, C, D. They are asking discuss A and B, simple, nothing more. So we will do now. Again, discuss briefly characteristic of earthquake resistant structures, directly from syllabus, right? Discuss evolutionary trend in equidai, पढ़ा था ना? equidai अभी सुना था, equidai is horse, equidai is horse. तो उन्होंने हॉर्स पूछ लिया, नाउ रिमेनिंग इज इंसान एंड हाथी, राइट? एलिफेंट. तो
Man, they
वो
asked
इस
last
बार,
year. I think this year they are going to ask elephant. Or
हाँ
was it other?
हाँ, दे आस्क्ड मैन लास्ट ईयर, तो
Last
इस
year.
बार वो पूछ लेंगे, एलिफेंट पूछ लेंगे, मतलब उनके पास ऑप्शन भी नहीं है, राइट? सो दिस माइट बी द केस, दिस इज आल्सो वेरी फेमस समथिंग. तो लाइक आई डोंट वांट टू गो, अभी हमने स्टार्ट ही नहीं किया एंड यू विल से कि पूरा पेपर डिस्कस कर रहे हो, राइट? देयर आर सम ऑब्वियसली थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल क्वेश्चंस भी हैं, ये जीएस लाइक क्वेश्चन है कि गिव अ ब्रीफ अकाउंट ऑफ सोर्सेज ऑफ ग्राउंड वाटर पोल्यूशन इन इंडिया, ठीक है? कि ग्राउंड वाटर पोल्यूशन क्यों आ रहा है, कहाँ से आ रहा है, दिस इज व्हाट दे आर आस्किंग. तो इस पे जीएस लाइक कंटेंट भी आप लिख सकते हो, बट वी विल गिव यू अ जियोलॉजिकल पर्सपेक्टिव आल्सो टू इट, राइट? वो इट इज फ्रॉम, it looks like it is from environmental geology, but it is from hydrogeology itself, right? ग्राउंड वाटर से. वाटर माइक्रोफॉसिल, एक जगह पूछ लिया वाटर मेगा फॉसिल, अब पूछ रहा है वाटर माइक्रोफॉसिल, ठीक है? और उसका एप्लीकेशन इन पेट्रोलियम एक्सप्लोरेशन, राइट? दिस इज व्हाट आई इवन डिस्कस्ड, वो एग्जाम में
Yes.
पूछ रहे हैं.
And in this
तो
also,
लाइक,
this question will come in forest. What are microfossils? There they will ask discuss application in paleogeography, जो ऊपर पूछा है, or paleoclimate. So only 3 questions from microfossils are there if you check syllabus. So they will ask one of those in this
यूपीएससी
syllabus.
ने मतलब वो भी लिख दिया बेचारों ने कि भैया हम एप्लीकेशन भी फालतू वाहियात पढ़ा नहीं करेंगे, वी विल आस्क यू ओनली दिस एप्लीकेशन ऑन कोरिलेशन, पेट्रोलियम एक्सप्लोरेशन, पेलो क्लाइमेट, पेलो ओशनोग्राफी, राइट? उन्होंने सवाल भी दे दिए 4,
And
ठीक
that
है?
is how you have to be strategic. For example, if you आपके पास time खत्म हो जाता है for paleontology, so don't leave this part. That is where guidance is important, right? Don't leave, for example, this 5th point, because this will come in the exam and it requires
Yes.
least effort. Now, if you go to point number, for example, 10 and 11, which Mayank sir has written in red. Now, from 10 and 11 also question that will come will be 1, but that will take almost double or triple the time what covering point number 5 will take. So that is why you have to be smart in the exam. So for example, if you're going to get 4 questions in the exam, so they'll be like split. It's not that from point 10 and 11 they will ask you 3 questions. It's not, they will ask you 1 question only from that part. So you have
Yes.
to be very smart in that regard.
Yes, very right. So see, just covering just one topic, you will get one question right. ये it is like very वो, तो इसको भी cover करना है. We are not saying don't cover,
Yes.
but you should be strategic. You should be prioritize कि भाई पहले this चीज करना है. So all this come after analysis of previous question, which we have done extensively, and we have उसी के बाद we have framed the course and our material, right? So I think this is it. This is what I want to tell you. The water mass extinction, ये भी बचपन से सुनते आ रहे हैं, पता है नहीं पता अलग बात है, but we know that the presently in newspaper बड़े बड़े लोग कहते हैं we are undergoing a 6th phase of extinction, right? This is a very common thing in in news and in climate summits and WWF WWF reports, right? That planet living planet index report and all this thing. So we are undergoing 6th extinction. This is speculation. इसका मतलब 1 से 5 हो चुके हैं in geological time history. So this is what UPSC is asking, right? So उसमें एक का नाम Permian Triassic mass extinction है, so they are asking third वाला, and they are asking what are these. So these are general, it is very interesting. Geology is very interesting. तो ये चीजें हैं, उसको we will cover it in class. ये पेपर 1 हो गया, right? So I will also very briefly go through paper 2 also, सिर्फ नाम confirm करने के लिए, right? So paper 2 is bit more technical, right? So there is this subject known as crystallography, right? So it ऐसा नाम से लिखेगा, और when you will read it, it has a bit of physics kind of a thing, right? Like we study in 11th and 12th, we study solid state, right? We studied solid state करके एक subject पढ़ा होगा, right? There were cubes and we studied about कि what are the symmetries in cubes, what are mirror images. We try to uh, we try to what we say, try to see them in mind कि कैसे कैसे दिखेगा. So this is something like that, right? So there is a lot of, there is some classification of some crystal system, right? It is about crystals. Crystallography is about study of crystals, right? Crystals of minerals, and minerals forms rock, something like that. So then there is some symmetry is there, some international notation is there, right? Then some other projection diagram. There are only three things mentioned in the syllabus, right? So isko actually if you do it very conceptually, it takes a bit of time, right? So इससे घबराना नहीं है. What happens is a lot of people, a friend of mine, right? He's a very dear friend of mine, and she's writing this exam, is this forest service exam, right? So she started preparing crystallography just after giving civil services means examination, right? First mistake, भाई take a 2 day break. And second mistake is at least read basic thing. चीजें तुम सबसे पहले सबसे डिफिकल्ट चीज पे कूदोगे, then you will demoralize, ठीक है? तो ये डिफिकल्ट भी नहीं है. Actually our purpose is not to be a crystallographer. Our purpose is to clear the exam. जो सवाल आएगा उसको लिख दें, ठीक है? तो इसको समझ लो. लॉरेंस सर इज एक्चुअली अ प्रो इन crystallography, mineralogy, even full of geology. It is he teaches so conceptually and with like so much smoothness. You will understand everything. उसके बाद he will also try to simplify it, right? There will be 2 page notes, 2 पेज के notes होंगे आपके, उतना आप रट लोगे, you will be able to solve at least 70% of the question in crystallography, right? And I think that is a good deal for a 40-day thing, right? So 2 पेज में you will be able to do it. So इससे डरना नहीं है. When you will read Bangad or something, ये होगा. So we will do this crystallography as well as the next unit is mineralogy. It is also very interesting topic of geology, right? So like I said that geology is about rocks. It is study of rocks, अगर crude language में बोले, which is like which sounds a bit boring. And all these rocks are made up of minerals. छोटे छोटे minerals होते हैं, right? Maybe some of you have studied geology and geography in deep, so you must be aware, you must have heard about some mineral like pyroxene, right? क्वार्ट्स तो सुना होगा बचपन से लेकर, कभी ना कभी क्वार्ट्स सुन रखा होगा, शायद फेल्सपार सुन रखा होगा, राइट? या फिर आपने जेमस्टोन वगैरह सुन रखे होंगे ना, बहुत सारे, गार्नेट होता है एंड a lot of further. So basically we study common minerals which are found in earth in mineralogy, right? So this is physical, about their physical properties, and here we study those mineral in geology graduation, in geology course we study these minerals under microscope, right? If under microscope, so microscope is like optics is there, optical, this is microscope mineralogy, right? So we call it optical mineralogy. तो इसमें एक एक शब्द के concept हैं. This is what UPSC has given us. UPSC want us to know something about this term जिसको we call it Pleochroism, right? तो अभी ये all these things are new, ना? You must have not heard about it, but उसको ऐसे देखो कि कुछ नहीं है यार, कुछ होगा. Extinction angle है, double refraction है, birefringence, twinning, dispersion. They have given only these 5 things, plus they have given एक बड़ा topic, some properties of some common rock forming minerals. So there are 5 to 7 mineral group, उनकी प्रॉपर्टीज हमें रटना है. और प्रॉपर्टीज मतलब ये, these are the properties. तो सपोज ग्रुप का नाम XYZ है, और लाइक सपोज ग्रुप का नाम इज क्वार्ट्स, तो क्वार्ट्स इज ए मिनरल, उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज रटना है, तो रट लेंगे ये सब समझ के, ये सब यहाँ पे रट लेंगे स्पेसिफिकली, राइट? तो इतना करोगे, एंड दिस ना, आई बिलीव मी 80% of the student will not be able to attempt question on mineralogy, right? If you are able to attempt the question on mineralogy, you are able to memorize it, rectify it, you are already way ahead in the competition, right? So this is the thing. The same thing is about igneous petrology, right? It is very interesting, but थोड़ा सा नया रखेगा. You will have new rocks, new terminologies, but it is very interesting, very intuitive, और बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आएगा, right? Same again, another is metamorphic meteorology. So like these terminologies are derived from rocks, right? सबको पता है बचपन से, there are 3 kinds of rocks: sedimentary rocks, igneous rocks, और metamorphic rock. So study of igneous rock is igneous petrology. This petrology means study of rocks basically, right? Basically, so igneous petrology. Second is metamorphic rock की study is metamorphic petrology. Third one is sedimentary rocks की study is sedimentary petrology, right? So this we will hear, right? And very easy, very interesting thing. And the last section is about the commercial or economic एप्लीकेशन ऑफ जियोलॉजी, राइट? सो लाइक यू अभी तक तो इतना टाइम नहीं मिला होगा सोचने का ना, आप सोच रहे होगे, बट कभी कभी लगता होगा ना कि अरे भाई इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग देख लिया, कंप्यूटर साइंस है, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग है, एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ मैथ्स है, फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, वी ऑल नो दी ट्रेमेंडस एप्लीकेशन ऑफ दी सब्जेक्ट्स। जियोलॉजी तो कभी सुना नहीं, पता नहीं क्या करते हैं ये लोग, राइट? सो लाइक दिस इज व्हाट जियोलॉजिस्ट डू, लाइक दिस इज देयर कंट्रीब्यूशन इन दी इकोनॉमी, इन दी डेवलप्ड व्हाट वी कॉल इट नेशन बिल्डिंग, राइट? सो जैसे कि जियोलॉजी का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एप्लीकेशन इज in geography. In geography, somebody might you from like, is there anybody from geography optional here? Is there anybody from geography optional here?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
so
sir.
like, okay, like Srishti and Rahul, they are from like, so like you all, Srishti, Rahul, you must have heard that you must have read that in geography is about special, like this is a spatial distribution, right? Geography is about distribution itself, right? कि भाई रिसोर्सेज हैं, देयर इज अ टर्म इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी। तो जैसे कि दिस इज इंडिया, राइट? फॉरगिव माय ड्राइंग, राइट, बट ऐसा कुछ है, दिस इज इंडिया। so you know that कॉपर है, यहाँ कॉपर मिलेगा, we get some copper here, we get some copper here, right? Suppose if you want to see coal, most of the coal is here and here, दामोदर वैली में कोल मिलता है, right? So this is what we studied in geography, right? This is distribution world over. If you have to study of nickel, you will see nickel is found in Canadian shield, in Australian shield, in African shield, और इंडिया में मिल जाता है थोड़ा ना कॉपर और थोड़ा बहुत। so this is distribution. Geology is about genesis, कि भाई कॉपर बना कैसे, हाउ कॉपर वाज फॉर्म एक्चुअली, व्हाई ऑयल इज ओनली फॉर्म्ड हियर इन बॉम्बे हाई और असम, या फिर गल्फ में क्यों मिलता है? साउदी अरेबिया इज सो रिच बिकॉज दे हैव ऑयल, they have to dig into it and sell it to the world and they are rich. So basically भगवान ने ऐसा क्या कर दिया उनके साथ कि इतना किस्मत दे दी है basically, right? So it is about how, it is not only where, right, this, but how it was formed, right? So this is economic geology. So how basically it is about the study of ores, right? So उनका classification, how they are formed, how particular mineral is formed, right? How aluminium की ore जो है, if somebody know any bauxite का नाम सुना होगा कभी ना कभी, so bauxite is a ore of aluminium. So how bauxite is formed, right? How chromium is formed, gold कैसे बनता है भाई, right? ये सब चीजें हम इसमें पढ़ते हैं, कोल, पेट्रोलियम। देन देयर इज थोड़ा सा जीएस वाला इंटरफेस, नेशनल मिनरल पॉलिसी, राइट, रैशनल मिनरल पॉलिसी। तो ये सवाल भी इस साल पूछा है पेपर 2 में, राइट? सो इट इज जीएस वाला काम। देन देयर इज दिस लॉ ऑफ सी, ठीक है, आपने सुन रखा होगा, एक नाम है अनक्लॉस, राइट? यूनाइटेड नेशन कन्वेंशन ऑफ लॉ ऑफ सी, यूनाइटेड नेशन कन्वेंशन ऑन लॉ ऑफ सी, यही कुछ है। तो ये वही पूछ रहा है, राइट? कंजर्वेशन, यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ मिनरल रिसोर्सेस, यू कैन राइट एसेज ऑन दिस, यू एवरी वन ऑफ यू। डिपॉजिट्स ऑफ कोल एंड पेट्रोलियम इन इंडिया, तो यहाँ पे डिपॉजिट तो पूछेंगे, साथ में दे आल्सो विल टॉक ऑफ जियोलॉजी की बना कैसे, पेट्रोलियम, क्रूड ऑयल, हाउ इट इज फॉर्म, व्हाट आर द पैरामीटर्स, जियोलॉजिकल पैरामीटर्स कि वो बन पाए। तो दिस इज बेसिकली द इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट। बट जो सबसे बड़ा जो कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है जियोलॉजिस्ट का इन डेवलपिंग ना, जियोलॉजी का यूटिलिटी होता है, इट इज दिस माइनिंग जियोलॉजी, राइट? सो इट इज नॉट अबाउट माइनिंग इंजीनियरिंग ना, आप में से सम ऑफ यू आर आल्सो फ्रॉम मेटलर्जी इंजीनियरिंग, राइट? सो जियोलॉजी और मेटलर्जी और माइनिंग में ये फर्क होता है कि जियोलॉजी इज इनटू एक्सप्लोरेशन, राइट? लाइक सपोज देयर इज अ फॉरेस्ट ना, जंगल है, बस्तर का जंगल है, और मे बी देयर इज अ फॉरेस्ट इन रियर रांची, राइट? ऐसा एक फॉरेस्ट है। there are also a lot of lot of our beloved indigenous people are living there, a lot of people are living around there, right? Now after few years this area will be converted to a mining area, right? But how will you know that इस एरिया में नीचे माइन है, right? Even like I said that यहाँ पे this is ocean, right? This is all Indian Ocean, this is what Arabian Sea, and Arabian Sea में some 170 kilometer away from coast they found a area जहाँ पे खूब oil है, right? So ocean is so huge, so it is the job of geologists to go and to pinpoint areas जहाँ पे there are reserves, right? So this is the application of this is we call exploration. So this is the core work of geologists to decipher where they will find mineral resources, right? If once a geologist has found कि इतने पूरे एरिया में से यहाँ पे आपको गोल्ड मिलेगा, right? Now you don't go in this area, just go here. Now what will happen? Mining engineer will take over. माइनिंग इंजीनियर विल टेक ओवर, उसको खोदेगा, इससे वो निकालेगा, देन माइनिंग इंजीनियर का काम खत्म हो जाएगा, इट विल गो टू मेटलर्जिकल इंजीनियर. मेटलर्जिकल इंजीनियर पूरा ऐसे ओर और गैंग रहेगा, उससे ही विल गिव अस गोल्ड, राइट, एंड दैट विल कम ज्वेलरी और जो भी यूटिलिटी है. सो द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क ऑफ एक्सप्लोरेशन ऑफ पिन पॉइंटिंग इन ह्यूज एरिया, this is done by a geologist, right, and this is a very very important contribution in the development of economy, nation building, everything, right. So this mining geology is essentially about exploration itself, right. Exploration का दूसरा नाम सिंपल भाषा में prospecting भी है, right. So this is what they have said कि how you will prospect, पता कैसे लगाओगे कई मिनरल है. There is geological method, there is geophysical, geochemical, geobotanical method. We will study all these things. This is all related to that only. तो पता लगा लिया एक बार, फिर एस्टिमेट कैसे करोगे कि कितना रिजर्व है. इस रिजर्व पे एक न्यूमेरिकल आता है, हर साल आता है, मोस्टली आता ही है, 99% टाइम न्यूमेरिकल आता है. दैट न्यूमेरिकल में यू हैव टू डू नथिंग, यू जस्ट हैव टू कैलकुलेट एवरेज, वेटेड एवरेज, दैट्स इट, राइट. उस पर पूरा का पूरा 10 नंबर मिलेगा, मे बी 15 मार्क्स, राइट. So this is the domain, and this is the last, geochemistry, the chemistry of earth, chemistry of universe, the composition of universe, right, the cosmic abundance of elements, meteorites, sorry, all these things. And last thing is environmental geology. It is about environmental aspect where geology can contribute, right. So जैसे कि there is something like radioactive disposal, right. So we are having a lot of radioactive nuclear power plants, ठीक है. We are also having use of radioactive minerals in hospitals. During COVID time we were having CT scans, all these things. So they somewhere employ this radioactive mineral, right. So all these things need to be disposed also after being used. So here geology come into play. Geology helps you to dispose them off. Geology helps in disposing industrial waste, using fertilizer waste, like managing mine waste, all these things. It also talks about pollution of groundwater को कैसे control कर सकते हैं. It gives us a geological perspective, right. So all these things, sea level change, all these are very easy, na. Hazard, floods, mass wasting, coastal hazard, earthquake, all these things basic कहीं ना कहीं आप जानते हो. So I have given you a very overall view, and Lawrence sir will take you, like I will also be mentoring you, and Lawrence sir will also be mentoring you. He is the lead mentor, so he will taking you deep inside all these topics. And इसमें से based on previous year question, trends and UPSC, we will be covering all these things in our classes, right. So I had a pretty long monologue, right. So I hope you got some knowledge, you got some basic basic idea about geology. Apart from that, like just I'll take we'll take up we will take up your question. Another thing I want to tell you, to start off today, you can watch this lecture, right. This lecture has been compiled and is recorded by Lawrence sir. So this is the title of this lecture is Geology in 90 minutes. It is uploaded in our YouTube also, right. So decide if you want to choose geology as an optional, right. But you people don't have that luxury of deciding ki lena hai ki nahi lena. You have taken geology optional, now you have to love it, you have to mug it up, and you have to get a rank, right. So this Lawrence sir recorded for the purpose of helping students, right, helping them counsel basically, ठीक है. लेकिन अपना पर्पस होएगा इससे हमको एक जो अभी वॉट एवर आई हैव डन इन लास्ट 30-40 minutes, you will get another very enlightened overview from Lawrence sir by watching these 90 minutes. Like you can obviously you watch it in 1.25x, 1.5x, right? It's all right, but do watch it, right. So I have also encoded this URL here. I will share, we will share the link, and it is available in YouTube, right. So that is a thing, right. To start off, I have already initiated you through this आज का जो भी ज्ञान दिया, इंट्रोडक्शन दिया जियोलॉजी का, राइट. एंड देन यू कैन गो टू दिस वीडियो जस्ट टू हैव एन ओवरव्यू, ठीक है. हर टॉपिक पे सर हैज डिस्कस, जो भी 12 यूनिट्स है यूपीएससी सिलेबस का, कुछ डिस्कस किया है. एंड आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इसमें जो व्हाट एवर सर हैज डिस्कस, लाइक जस्ट बाय डिफॉल्ट ये खुला हुआ है, व्हाट एवर इट इज ओपन, राइट. एवरीथिंग इज गोल्ड देयर, राइट. सर आई थिंक इज Sir maybe is discussing about.
Hello everyone.
Maybe he's discussing
Welcome
about
to
banded
Planet
iron
Geology.
formation here.
My name is
right?
Lawrence Kamyan.
यहाँ पे banded iron formation. So this banded iron formation is itself a very important question, right? ये 90 मिनट के वीडियो में ही आपको जो टॉपिक सर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, I can guarantee कि 3-4 सवाल तो इसी से आ जाएंगे, right? It is just an introductory thing, right? तो इसको जरूर देखना, ठीक है, फास्ट फॉरवर्ड मोड में. तो डू दिस इज ए गुड स्टार्टिंग. उसके बाद आई थिंक वी आई डिस्कस दिस number of subtopics, how you have to cover all this thing. And again, just to repeat it off, in next 40 days, whether you join our crash course or not, right, whether you join any course or not, you do self study or whatever, you just use all your wisdom you acquired in your civil services mains preparation and implement it here in completing the syllabus, right? कि भाई wisdom होगी ना, you don't have to stuck on any one topic, right? Syllabus completion is the key, right? Diagrams are key. This is a scientific subject. Diagrams are key. छोटे छोटे diagrams बनाना है, right? And whatever else you have learned, like you must have personalized तरीके से you must have learned that for you such kind of notes work, such kinds of notes don't work. So what don't work, don't do it. What works for you, just implement it directly in next 40 days, right? And that is it. And then another thing about maximizing the score, Lawrence sir will also be adding things on it, but this I'll complete it. So like I said you, this is a pictorial subject, this is a scientific subject, right? So it gives you an opportunity to draw a lot of diagrams. We have incorporated a lot of diagrams in our classes also. Lawrence sir, when he teach, he also use it. And wherever I have to cover topics, I have also covered economic geology, environment, geomorphology, some part of all this mineralogy, all these things. So there also we give a lot of diagram, a lot of triangular diagram, phase diagram, sometimes flow chart, world map, all these things. You just keep practicing them, right? That is one of the things. So like in paper one, we discussed it is very easy, like relatively easy. So paper one is more about presentation, how you are presenting your answer, like what quality of content you are giving, right? Everybody know about what is earthquake, what is volcano, but how is Shrestri defining volcano or how others is defining volcano? It might differ. So define अच्छे से करो, diagram बनाओ, that's it. Paper two is bit more content driven. So paper two में you don't have to मतलब you don't have to effort नहीं मानना पड़ेगा diagram बनाने में. Paper two is itself technically very diagrammatically. There is a lot of triangular diagram. There is a lot of flow charts and all these things in paper two. So it is more conceptual. Paper two, it is more memory driven, right? You have to memorize a lot of stuff. Next 40 days will be pretty stressful. That is a given, right? But ultimately, just in a matter of 40-45 days, you can get in rank in all India service, right? And you can get very good rank, right? So that will be there. Then see question paper, see previous question, all these things are there, right? So your strategy for course sorry, for crash course has to be that whatever I or Lawrence are cover in videos, you go through it, right? And what we will do is like, this is, suppose this is a course of economic geology, right? So then there are a lot of chapters, and before every chapter, sir or I will be giving a very brief 20 to 30 minutes of overview ki what economic geology is all about and what is the coverage, right? This we will be doing for all those units which are recorded, right? So 15 से 20 मिनट का we might share कि एक overall view आपको मिल जाएगा. Just go through it and then you can go through the PDF and the videos. Another than that, what I would like to suggest you all is that you can buy this book. There is a book called as KM Bangar, right? This is the name of the book, and I think the title of this book is Principles of Engineering Geology, right? So basically, this is a guidebook. Right? So like there are 12 units in geology. There is a very standard book of each and every unit. So there are 12 to 15 books which one should read ideally, right? उतना तो हम पढ़ने नहीं वाले. So for us, this guy, this very good guy, Mr. Bangar, he has copy pasted a lot of content from a lot of books, right? ऐसे इनके और भी हैं, इनके दोस्त हैं. There is Mahapatra, there is Mukhopadhyay, right? So there are other guidebooks also. You can buy anyone. Like I don't have any affinity with Bangar, K Bangar, but you can buy this. It is easily available. It is like 150 rupees का कुछ book होगा. You can buy it and make it as a note. इसको एक note copy बना के रखो, right? Suppose you are reading. Lawrence sir will be starting on Saturday crystallography or mineralogy. So what you can do to help yourself and to better your learning कि आप उस दिन क्लास के पहले devote at least 2 hours, not more than that. 1 से 2 घंटा just go through very briefly in a very calm environment with a calm mindset. Read Bangar, right? So you will know ki what are the topics written in Bangar, right? He has also given definition, example. He have given you some notes, right? So you might understand only 20% of it, maybe 40% of it, not more than that. And maybe you will remember remember only 5% of what you read. It's all right, but it will give you a perspective of how to prepare, right? How to do it, right? And then you see the videos and the lecture and make your notes, right? Make your rough notes, whatever it is, and memorize them, right? This is the one thing why you should read Bangar. Another reason why you should read Bangar is most of your competitors will be reading Bangar, right? Not everybody Planet Geology will be subscribing to Planet Geology. Somebody's mic is on. Please switch it off for some time, right? So okay, so so another thing is most of your computer will be reading Bangar, so you should read it, right? You should at least cover what they are covering, right? So that is a thing. And then use a lot of things, use mnemonics, use keywords and a lot of things to memorize paper 2, especially paper 1. Lawrence will also be providing few, I will also be providing, and make your own. So just rectify it, right? So that is all from my side. Now we will again give you the schedule and we will explain the schedule again, because Lawrence had explained it, right? But that time you might not be aware of the syllabus. So अब आप दोबारा इसको schedule देखोगे crash course का, so you will understand it better and you can ask your questions, right? So these are few important links, right? These are few important links for you. Like this is the link of our crash course, right? I will copy paste it in the chat box also of this. So this is the crash course का link. This is our Telegram channel, sorry, Telegram group, right? This is our Telegram group. It is free and open for all. If anybody can join it, they will be updated about a lot of things here. And then all those people who enrolled in our courses, right, who enrolled in crash course, so we will make a private group where all those people who have enrolled in crash course, they will be only they will be added. So there will be constant update about when classes is released, right? You will also be updated via mail, but you will have some things in the Telegram group also. And there also you can ask the doubt, right? You can ask the doubt in the group, and whenever Lawrence sir is free, whenever I am free, we'll respond to it, right? Suppose you get a doubt at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, ऐसा हो सकता है कि we might not be able to clear it at 2:15. We might respond at 6 p.m., maybe 9 p.m., right? So that will be a thing. So that we will have a group. So all those who share, they will get link for that private group. But you can join this open group of us. And okay, this and you can contact us on Telegram on this number. And this is link for demo lectures. This is link for demo lecture. These are not the lecture of crash course. These are the lecture of general geology. Full unit is there of our comprehensive course. So if you are still in doubt that how these people teach, how what is the coverage, whether you will connect it or not, so you can few videos of this lecture. You can see what is the pedagogy of teaching, how material is given, all those things. So you will get a hang of it. Otherwise, you can also see a lot of YouTube videos we have Lawrence sir has provided, right? So that is it. Now I think Lawrence sir can add if you want to, and we can you can ask a lot of questions, right? Whatever you want to ask about whatever courses, right? So anybody, if you want to ask question or Lawrence sir want to add something about crash course, about comprehensive course, about anything about forest services.
Yes. Yeah, so I have a few questions. I'll take them. Okay, Monik Abhishek. Given very less time, prepare 2 chapters out of 3. Don't do that. Okay, don't even think about doing that. Because let's say you prepare 2 chapters very deep and a difficult question comes from that one. And the one you have left, very easy question comes from that. Everyone will be able to write. You will be left behind competition in that only. Instead of going deep into any particular subject, cover everything in width, in breadth. No need to go into deep. As my sir was explaining, you don't have to become a crystallographer, a paleontologist. Okay, you have to clear the exam, cover everything. Okay, comprehensive coverage. So go wide instead of doing very quickly into one part. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, uh, the way the question paper is framed, does it
Okay,
give us the
I got your question. I got your question. Like he's thinking ki if we cover 2 topics, so see, it happens. It happened once in 10 years. Ki UPSC give there will be a question, compulsory question. It will have from all the unit. Question
okay.
2, it will happen only once in 10 years, and that only by mistake, right? It happened couple of time in civil services. Ki question 2 was entirely on structural geology. Question 3 was entirely on geomorphology. Question 4 was entirely on general geology, right? So
So
if you have not studied structure, you can attempt question number 2 and 3, right? But that does not happen. UPSC has cracked that, and
Mix, yeah.
UPSC UPSC give question number 2A from general geology, 2B from
Okay.
geomorphology, 2C from
Okay.
structural. So you
Okay,
cannot
sir.
leave anything.
I
And
got
then
it. I got it.
question number and 5 are compulsory. Those will also be from all the
Mixed.
subjects.
Yeah, mixed. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway, you'll see, for example, even if, for example, you're thinking of leaving any subject, let's say
Yeah.
Mayank sir said like five, in some subjects there'll be 5 topics, in some there maximum 10. So you prepare question answer just for those 10 questions, the name of the topic. Okay. So for example,
Okay, sir.
microfossil is a topic, just prepare one page answer for microfossils. Okay. At least that much you can do. So
Okay.
basic you have to do for each of the subjects. That is sort of like the lowest hanging fruit. So
Okay,
yeah,
sir.
you can choose to go into slightly less depth, more depth. Okay, how much
Uh-huh.
effort you put, that you can do. Variation can also be there, but don't leave altogether. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, though this was the syllabus we were sharing. So basically, which will be covered. Yes. Yes, Mayank sir, you have to add something.
No, no. Sorry. So I
Okay.
think okay. So basically, see, Lawrence sir says that today we have this intro webinar, and by evening, all those who joined, we will give them access to the course, and you will have this have this general geology. If you can see my cursor there, if it is visible. So this general geology on 19th Wednesday. So see, general geology, like we don't want to load you. Our aim is like ऐसा नहीं है कि we don't want to give you video of general geology. We can give you 20 hours of content, but it is not in your own benefit, right? So we will recommend that sir has prepared general geology handwritten notes, right? You just mug it up today, tomorrow morning, wake up early and mug these notes which we'll give you today. Tomorrow we will release few videos, as a few videos, like all the videos and all the content of important all the topics of remote sensing. So devote your tomorrow Thursday on like devoting 3-4 hours of your time to remote sensing, right? On Wednesday, here it is pre-read, right? Sir has written mineralogy, crystallography, pre-read. So we will not release any fresh material on Friday because you have on Saturday and Sunday you have a relatively challenging topic and it will happen in live classes. So I would recommend कि भाई, even if you are working, like Srishti is working and some other people, they are already in service in one way or the other. If you are working, but it's okay. You should have your Saturday and Sunday for you, and I would recommend strongly कि you attend the live classes. ठीक है, लाइव क्लासेस में सर विल ट्राई टू यू विल गेट अ फील ऑफ क्रैश कोर्स कि थोड़ा तेज हो रहा है, तो वहां पे तेज पढ़ाने की कोशिश करेंगे. ही विल ट्राई टू कवर मिनरोलॉजी एंड क्रिस्टलोग्राफी इन दीज 2 days, right? So this Friday is important for you. You sit back, you read Bangad. He might also give some content on you on this, right? On the portal. So portal पे आप content को देखो, उसके notes बनाओ, समझने की कोशिश करो. On Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you give your full dedication to this crystallography mineralogy, right? So in our comprehensive course, we gave around 16-17 days, 16 lecture to mineralogy crystallography, right? More than that. And here he will try to cover it in 2 days. So there might be, sir will tell you better. There will be, I think, 2 classes of 2 hours, 4 hours daily on every day of the weekend, right? 8 to 9 hours class on Saturday, Sunday. So इससे बहुत बड़ा part खत्म हो जाएगा. And if you are done with mineralogy, you are at least 15% of the syllabus is done, right? Right. Then again, Monday, since this is a heavy topic, we have given you break. If you are not able to attend live classes, obviously we will record all this live lecture and upload it. You see them, you revise them, you try to rectify them, right? Then on Tuesday, this is paper 2 geochemistry, right? So we will release geochemistry ka sara content. Geochemistry you can do it in one day also, right? 6-7 hours you can do it. You can do environment in 4-5 hours, right? Notes बने बनाए हैं. I have taken only 3 lectures of environment, तो प्री रिकॉर्डेड वो करेंगे इसको. तो जो भी पूछते हैं that we will cover. Hydrogeology, it will also take 1 to 2 days. So you give in more hard work here, right? And then on the next weekend on Friday again it is pre-read, right? It is structural pre-read. Pre-read matlab is then we will not give any content, but you will have to prepare for Saturday Sunday class, that is structural geology. So sir will give you some content, some videos, and we will tell you to read Bangad, right? We are also in talk with a very famous topper, Prajesh Jena sir. So we will try to incorporate his notes also in formally in our course, right? You can get his notes also, but he has not covered everything. He has covered only 6-7 topics, and that too he prepared in 20 days. So like it was enough once upon a time. Today also a lot of content is relevant, so you can read that. But best part is you read Bangar, you read the notes which sir will be giving you on Friday, and then Saturday Sunday you attend the live lecture. Now just see, within a matter of 10 days you have completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 7 units you will be completing by 30th of January, right? So that is a big thing, right? इसके साथ साथ you will also be doing some forestry, और इसको फिर आपको रटना भी है, you have to consolidate also. So it will be a stressful thing, that is for sure, but it is manageable, and you have to manage it, right? You have to get a rank. Simple. And then this is a very easy topic. 31st engineering geology, we will release it in live class. This is paper 1, वो डैम वाला क्वेश्चन जो आया था ब्रिजेस के बारे में, right? That thing. And then again, Lawrence,
Yes.
agla schedule is next schedule is this. So again, the same thing, right? Then mining geology. So mining geology is relatively bigger. So sir has given you 2 days time. We will release half video on one, or we will release all the videos on first itself, so that you can devote time. You can complete it in one as well as two. Then geomorphology. A lot of you already have knowledge about it, so we will give it on third, right? Then again, fourth is pre-read. No fresh content. You just prepare yourself for Saturday and Sunday. राइट कभी किसी का ऐसा हो जाता है कि यार माइनिंग नहीं हो पाया, जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी नहीं हुआ है अभी तक, और फ्राइडे आ गया, so you don't do mineral mining or geomorphology on Friday. On Friday you read what sir is going to cover on Saturday, right? At least pre-reading should be there. So this is very important topic. This can give you 20-30 extra marks, right? Igneous petrology, sedimentology, these, right? So that's why we are taking it on weekend in live classes. So prepare for this. Then we have paleontology. Some people find paleontology relatively biology like, right? थोड़ा बहुत difficulty होती है, तो इसलिए we have given 3 time, but it is very interesting, like we discussed, right? Then one part of stratigraphy on 10th. Then 11th again there is pre-read of sedimentology. Sedimentology will be get over in 2 days. ठीक है, फिर stratigraphy continue करेंगे, metamorphic. Then these will be probably the only live classes happening in weekdays, right? So we have planned it. Maybe we can even, there will be some flexibility in the schedule, but mostly we will stick to it. So on 16, 17, sir might take 1 hour class in the morning, right? Early morning, 9 to 10, 9 to 10:30 type. So you will have to wake up even if it is a winter day. So we'll cover this, and the last topic is economic geology. So we'll cover it on 18th. Then on 19th and 20th, we will take doubt classes, right? We both will be there. You can ask questions, you can ask doubts, right? Any related. So 1920 we will take doubt classes of all the units, whatever is missing, whatever you find it. And then if needed, if this is not completed, you can complete it in 21st and 22nd. So basically by 22nd of February your this will be completed. एक पूरा read हो जाएगा. Plus इसके साथ साथ, like on 10th you will not be only reading stratigraphy, you should also be revising thoda bahut geomorphology, mining or whatever. So ratification will go on together. But you will have this full on 7-8 days. On 27 you have GS and English, right? I think optional will be on 2nd or 3rd of March, something like that, 3-4 days after GS, right? It depends on UPSC also. So you will have enough to 10-12 days. So 10-12 days ऐसे तो कम दिखते हैं, but 12 days out of 40 days is good 30%, right? About on 35 days, 12 days is 33% of your time. So we are completing the syllabus in only 66% of the days. We are giving 33% of the days to you to revise, right? So this is what the planning is, and I hope like now you are more clear, right? With the plan sir is given, right? So this is it. And like somebody is asking, it will help us in my state mining inspector examination or not? So Abhay, like I'm sorry, I have not seen the paper of state mining inspector examination, but this we are covering geology, and geology is universal, right? The syllabus of geology is same in civils as well as forest as well as in state PCS, right? So all this content is relevant for state PCS and all other also, but like I am not sure particularly how relevant it will be, but for geology point of view, it is pure geology taken by a professional geologist who has topped a geology like a prestigious college like IIT Roorkee in geology. So you can avail it. You can see few demo classes and you can decide yourself, right? And what else? Sir, crash course की schedule की PDF कहाँ मिलेगी? We will share this PDF. Lawrence sir will share the PDF of schedule. We will upload it on the PDF on our website itself also, right? So that you can do. And okay, Rahul says it. Test series, all this thing. We will discuss it. Any other question you want to ask? If you can ask, or anything else. Anyone?
So anyway, so for those who have not studied geology before anytime, so I'd like to share basically, anyway we will share general geology course, that 90-minute video is there, some terms you will find, okay. So these are some of the terms which you must know, like at the start, even before you study general geology or anything. Okay, so we will release the content on this, but note down these words. Okay, Google it, do anything. Once you'll start to Google it, you'll get idea of this. But learn basically these names. For example, mafic, felsic. These are rocks. Mafic rocks are magnesium, iron rich. Felsic rocks are, for example, aluminium rich. And in between mafic and felsic, you have intermediate. Okay, and then before that, you'll get ultramafic. So this is for some of you would have already known about this. So just you will find this in the 90-minute video also, but just Google these names. Okay, so mafic, for example, sometimes are also called basic. This felsic or silicic are also called acidic rocks. Okay, similarly, at least note down these minerals names. If you have not heard about these are like the most important minerals. Okay, olivine, pyroxene. So this is order from basically going from mafic to felsic side. Olivine, pyroxene, amphibole, biotite, plagioclase, feldspar is can occur anywhere, and then quartz. Okay, so these are minerals, very important. Okay, so you should have these names in your head after this class. Okay, and similarly peridotite, basalt, gabbro, andesite, diorite, rhyolite. So they are from ultramafic, mafic, intermediate, felsic. Ultramafic, mafic, intermediate, felsic. So these are rocks, these are minerals. So many of you already know about these names. If you don't, please, these names you write down in your notes now only, because in geology they will come everywhere, whether you are talking about general geology, igneous petrology, mining geology, everywhere. So these basic concepts, and then we will discuss them in more detail, but at least you note down these names today. Okay,
This is your homework basically.
Yeah.
This is your homework. After class, from here starts the preparation. So like just Google everything, whatever every keyword is written on the uh, slide, right? Like Rahul is asking, sir, live classes को बाद में देख सकते हैं? Yes, Rahul. Every classes will be recorded and they will be shared on the portal, right? And Stalin Fidal, he wanted to ask that, is the course accessible in app, right? So we do have an Android app, right? So presently, about the access, like see, Android app is prepared by a different developer. Our website is prepared managed by a different developer, right? It is an international organization. So there is not a direct, ऐसा नहीं है कि जो portal पे available है, everything is available on the app. We will have to go into nitty gritty of it, and I will inform you later, right? So थोड़ा सा उसमें जो
but
issue रहेगा
I think
उसका, हाँ.
if you have mobile phone, the website is completely optimized for accessing through your mobile phone as well. So you will not feel you will not get any issues in that regard if you are accessing it from mobile phone. App, because it is a very short course, so we will prefer that we go through website, because app is still in development stage, so we don't want there to be any hiccups, especially because we will be going at such a fast pace. So primarily it will be delivered through website only.
Yeah. And like Sir said, website is like 100% compatible with phone, so no issues, right? And okay, उसके बाद does this course contain any test series? So Monique want to ask about test series. So see, this is only a coverage course. Like we will cover all the syllabus of the syllabus given by UPSC with videos and PDF. So course is not a part. Like test series is not formally part of it. We have a different course for test series dedicated. There are 6 tests. If somebody want to join the formal test series, you are more welcome, but that is a different course. In terms of answer writing, we covered that in class. Lawrence sir, we both keep talking how to present our answer, and plus there will be a group, there will be a private Telegram group. There, all those people who have enrolled for the course, they are they are generally like we already have 100+ enrollment in our comprehensive course. So there are 100 students. So like that is also a intellectual property thing, kind of thing. A lot of people keep writing, they keep peer reviewing. We also keep review. So in that way, you can do answer writing, right? But there is this course does not contain test series with it, right? And will the live classes available late in recorded mode? Yes, it will be recorded. We will upload the live classes within few hours on the portal, and that will be accessible, right? Will it be advisable to take some crash course for forestry as well, or self study? So see, Bhanu, for crash for क्या बोलते हैं, this forestry, there is a book named as Manikandan and Prabhu. All you must, every one of you must be having that book. You buy that book, right? So that is like a Lakshmikant kind of a book, but Lakshmikant is a very well written book. Manikandan and Prabhu, like I should not say like this, but like उतना अच्छा नहीं लिखा हुआ है, like समझ में नहीं आते हैं. So basically, what you should do is you have to read Manikandan and Prabhu multiple times, right? So maybe in next 7 days, you sit with someone who is giving IFS. If you could find, if you not, it's all right. But you sit for a couple of hours, 3 to 4 hours, and daily, and just read Manikandan and Prabhu, right? Fatafat, in a very quick manner. So in the first reading, you will understand about like I understood only 30 to 40% of the thing happening in forestry. Ki ho kya raha hai, right? Then you will realize ki okay, 50% of the forestry is like general studies, 50% of forestry is bit technical, जो थोड़ा सा समझना है. और उसमें भी the first 4 chapter are technical. If you are able to understand the first 4 chapter, silviculture system, right? Then you are 50% of the forestry is done. And then in paper 2 there is forest mensuration, forest right management, and this forest plan. So these are technical things. Rest you have bridges, roads, remote sensing, now and all general studies stuff. So what you do is you read multiple time. On first read you will study 20-30%, understand for 20-30%. Then read second read of the book you will understand up to 50%. And the third read things will start settling in you. So in first 6-7 days read first, do first reading. Then in next 4 days do the second reading. And then from 1st of February do it more properly. Use internet, right? There are a lot of videos on YouTube for forestry, and there is also Rishabh Gupta sir. He has his notes prepared in, and they are all available on the Google, right? You just have to Google it. Rishabh Gupta sir forestry notes. So you just take a printout of it. There are hardly 60-70 pages. So you also mug stuff from them, right? Itna karo, and then use images and use Google to intensify or to get into it deeper of your previous year questions. So itna aap kar loge, then make short notes after 15th of February. So and revise it again, revise 3 to 4 times forestry that book. I think you will be exam ready, and you can definitely score in excess of 220, 230, and on a lucky day, and depends on your hard work, it can even go to 250, even in forestry. So this is the normal strategy followed by lots of topper, and this has been the thing which a lot of people are doing from like years. So you can also do Rishabh Gupta sir book, the sir notes, and Manikandan and Prabhu plus internet, right? So I hope I answered in whatever limited knowledge I had about forestry. Rest you can even explore other videos of toppers on YouTube and other things, right?
And
And
don't,
somebody has civil engineering.
yeah,
Okay,
and
okay.
keep a little bit calm also through this process, because if you become very agitated
Hmm.
during first few days, if it helps you, then that is good. But sometimes through nervousness you may get panicked also that there is so much syllabus. So that is why sometimes we have designed it in such a way so that in between you will cover some main difficult topics as well, but in the middle you are covering some easy topics as well. So you need to have that feeling, you have to trick your brain that you're progressing, okay? Even if you get into that thing that 5 days you have not done anything, so if you get in some, don't get stuck in anything, okay? So you should always, your brain should always get signals that you are progressing every day, okay? And you have to be calm, you have to be, you can meditate also. Don't get sometimes, because when we want to go too fast also, we end up panicking. So don't think that you have to go too fast also, okay? So you keep following a fixed schedule, that you think that okay, 5 hours I will study geology, these many hours I'll study forestry every day. You stick to that schedule, and then don't care too much about like what is going to happen. Or the first, you need to follow this step by step every day, okay?
Yes, yes, yes. So, like you just remember this. This is a very important thing because these days will be pretty stressful. And like I can say on my experience, even if you are able to cover 70, 80, 85% of the course of the content which we are giving, right? You are able to memorize 70, 75% of thing, right? And with some grace of God, you will definitely get a very good rank, right? So one thing is like you will get nirvana through imperfection only. You cannot attain perfection in 40 days, and it's all right, right? Just it's all right to be imperfect, to write imperfect answer, to have limited understanding. It's all right. So just mug up a lot, and just keep working. Like sir said, that don't come under stress. Have some time for other things also, but no, right, that is the thing. So
Sir,
if okay.
sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Uh, Sir, generally the optional papers in UPSC civil services mains, the time management is very difficult there. Is it the same in forestry mains also? Is the time too demanding there, or it is comparatively easier time management?
No, actually, you have already, if you have given civil services, means you are already, like I said, you are in a momentum. So, like you are also already in a answer writing mode, even if you have not prepared written mock interviews, but UPSC has taken a mock of yours, right? So you are already, so it won't be much of the problem. Plus, in civil services, the paper are very lengthy, like general studies, they are also very analytical. So इसलिए भी time लगता है. But in forest services, paper are mostly factual. General studies are also pretty factual and optional. I don't think time will be an issue because most of the students are lacking in content, right? Geography paper 2 में तो I have seen people sitting after 1.5 hour, 90 minutes के बाद लोग ऐसे बैठ जाते हैं, कोई ऐसे बैठ जाता है, क्या करना है, पंखा देख रहे हैं. तो that is not an issue. If you are a very serious candidate, बहुत अच्छे से prepare करोगे, then also time will not be an issue, right? और उसके लिए एक और important you should keep in mind is you should since this is a subjective examination and if there is a issue of time management, you should make your notes, right? And also as a thing which I missed, like our notes are not downloadable, right? So we don't make our notes PDF, handwritten, anything downloadable for you to force to write, right? If this was a objective examination, we would have given you anyways, right? But this is subjective examination. You have to produce things what you know in exam, right? So that is why to force you to write something, maybe even rough notes, these are not downloadable, right? And you have to make your notes, rough notes also. But there is no restriction on number of views of the PDF as well as videos. You can, if you want to watch it 10 times, it's all right. You want to see the PDF 10,000 times, it's all right. There is no bar on it, right? Just do not share your login ID, but use as many times as you want and prepare your notes. So if you make your notes, you write diagram, you practice diagram, you will understand कि कहाँ time लग रहा है, कहाँ नहीं लग रहा. So on this way, time can be managed. There won't be much issue in geology as well as forestry in terms of completion of paper, right? In my experience.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
So if Lawrence sir is like fine, we can end the session here.
Yes, I think we can end the session. So maybe we can share Telegram group link, or I think most of you would have. Okay, you have registered, so we will have your email ID.
Like,
So we will send instructions on that as well.
I am sending the same in here chat box also. Just give me a minute, right? So this link which I am sharing, this is our open Telegram group, right? All those people who will join, they will also be a private group, but you can join this group, right? Right. So this is our open Telegram group. This is the thing.
PPTs, where can we share, Mayank sir? A lot of students are
We'll upload it on the Google Drive, and below this we will upload this video on YouTube also. So below this in the description of this video, there will be link for the Google Drive from where you can download the PPT, right? Or we can also share it on our Telegram group. You join it and we'll share there, right? So okay, all the very best. The last word is just give your heart and soul to this preparation.